what, and this may be a little bit open-ended as well, but like what vision do you see for the Woodlands in the next 5 to 10 years, and what role do you think you play in making that happen? And this can be very broad and like very open-ended, but I'm just kind of curious like what you prioritize in your like explanation.
Well, I mean, the thing that we really need to do is related to the funds that we get in. I mean, it's hard to make predictions, but we need this group that John Brown is working on. It's called the Big Idea Group. Um, he's one of the directors right now. I mean, that is super important. We need to have a way of bringing funds in. Like there's been a community, I understand, I think it was maybe McKinney, Texas, and they invested in, I think it was high school football or some sort of football. And through that, they were bringing in a lot of revenue. And the reason why this is important is, let me give a quick example here, is a lot of people who are residents of the Woodlands complain about, we have a triathlon. We have different things that, events like this that are put on.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. I was on the Grogansville board, I was on the Cochrane Crossing board, and I understand that perspective from the residents. But what the residents perhaps don't understand quite so succinctly is that it's the funds that come from that keep their taxes low. No one wants high taxes. People want their taxes to be kept low. So there's a balance to be achieved there, right? So maybe time in between when we have these triathlons and different events that help keep their taxes low. Well, like I said, with the development money starting to go away and with increased responsibilities in the Woodlands, first of all, we need to be a little more choosy about the projects we want to take on. Right now, they're wanting to have a cultural arts center, which is going to be very expensive. I take the position, unless it's going to have a return on investment, we don't need one. I think it's wonderful to have one, but Montgomery County is putting one in. Do we need another one here or there? It's fine as long as it's going to bring money in, because right now we're in a position where we don't need to be going into debt unless it's going to be helping the people. That's the position I take.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to be looking for revenue sources. We need to be looking for the opportunity. We have plenty of money, but it's not always going to be that way. And it's not always going to be the perfect Woodlands. And we need to start preparing for what an aging Woodlands is going to be, how we're going to recover funds that we're losing, what we're going to do to do that. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of brilliant people. I can tell you, there's top executives of corporations here within the Woodlands who are part of that Big Idea Group, and they haven't come up with something yet that they've agreed on that there's a plan for. So I'm not going to sit here and by myself try and pretend that I have all the answers or what that vision is, but it has to involve a way of getting more funds in, so that we can keep taxes low for the residents who are to some extent spoiled, with the way things are right now. Um, everything that's on my website there are ways that it can improve. Everything from feral hogs, mosquitoes. That's something that it seems like ridiculous, but we have a solution to that. I mean, what we can do. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say if I'm elected, it will be measurably better. I believe that simply because I know that I'll do the legwork,
Mm-hmm.
and on every single issue, I'll make sure I go in depth and I'll be objective and I'll come up with the best possible answer. Whereas right now, what we'll get if anyone else is elected in position two is we're going to get someone who's not going to do that to the extent that I will. And so I just have the belief that ultimately that's going to make it better, and that ultimately there will be people who will be listening to these issues. If I get elected, if I'm just sitting back here trying to get elected, people are listening to the issues. So that's good, because these are issues that wouldn't even be talked about if I wasn't running. So to answer that precisely, I can't say exactly what it would be like. I can't predict that, but I believe that I know me and my disposition, that I believe it would be measurably better.